Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. This is of course the MC707, Roland's latest and greatest groove box. Now if you follow this channel you know I love my groove boxes. I've demoed the MC303 before, we featured the Electribe and even the Roland JDXI, which I consider to be somewhat of a groove box as well. But this is the new release, I've got it for 3 weeks, so let's enjoy it during that time together. I want to approach this from the angle of a keyboard player. You can use the pads to play the sounds on the device, but I don't think you're really doing them justice. This has wonderful synthesizer. Sounds are built in from the vintage JUNO, Jupiter, SH101, and even the XV5080 are represented on here. So to get the best out of it, I hooked up a MIDI keyboard controller here as well. So that's what we'll be doing today, just hopefully enjoying the sounds. If I get inspired, then perhaps we'll even put together a little track, but I have really no idea what we're going to accomplish during this presentation. This is my first time playing the instrument, so let's figure it out together. Why don't we get started? Right, straight off the bat we got some quite nice results here. I just pulled up a few random sounds here off camera. So I have set up a template here. It was a bit tedious to do, but I have saved this as a project now so I can use this in my future compositions as well. I've basically just assigned 2 drum tracks here. These are the ones marked in that color there, the blue. And then I've also created 6 synthesizer tracks here with just some random sounds selected. So let's go through some of the sounds, see what we find. So I had like a pluck sound here on this channel here. Let's pick a few more sounds and see what we get here, just to give you an idea of the variety on offer. So we're going to use this knob here to select the sounds. We seem to have jumped out from that particular category now, which is a shame, but let's see what we have. I've got a filter right here nearer to hands. And I've also got my effects here. And modulation, this usually does this knob here in the middle. Although it seems to depend on the patch, which is fine by me. Yeah, nice. Carry on through. I think that's the one I had in the beginning. So on these 2 tracks, I put down a basic kick drum pattern there and a hi-hat here. There is a metronome on board, but it's a bit hard to get to switch on and off, and also it's a bit harder to adjust the volumes. So I put it here directly on these 2 tracks. So that's what I'm doing there. Let's carry on through some of these sounds. Lots of stab sounds. I think the sounds in this bank A, which we're going through at the moment, are from the Axe Edge. This is the Roland Keytar, so there's plenty of useful lead sounds here. We can also explore the excellent Bank C and Bank D, which contains all the SuperNatural sounds emulating the JUNO 106. You've got Jupiter 6, Jupiter 8 in there as well, SH101 and so on. We can jump there now, actually, why not? So we use this one to navigate through. I'm not sure if anybody else does pads quite like Roland do. That's lovely. Yeah. We can filter it to taste. I'm wondering if we should record something here. Yeah, let's just I like that even more. Okay, let's record that riff and see what we can come up with. So I need to select the number of measures first. Unfortunately, you have to do this in advance, which seems a little bit clunky, but I guess we could get away with a 2-bar. Let's go for a 4-bar pattern. Select the clip we're going to record onto, which is there. Now, very annoyingly, I find this frustrating anyway, we don't have any count-in function here, which seems absolutely crazy to me. I've scoured the internet and the manual and so on, and the menus. Can't find a count-in for the metronome, so we'll just have to let it loop through 4 measures, then I'll start playing. And what was the riff again? I've completely forgotten now. Was that really what I had? That seems like a different sound to me. What's going on? Okay, this has caught me out before. After you've selected the right sound, you actually have to commit it to the track by pressing enter. If you do anything else, you lose the sound. So unfortunately, we'll have to find that sound again. Bear with me. Okay, close enough. Let's record. Hit the record there. I'm going to go on to input quantize. We'll talk a bit about the quantize a little bit later on, if I remember, because it's a little bit strange as well. So We're in record mode. I'm going to have to let this play through. I can try and come in on the beat one, but it's really, really difficult without accounting, but we'll see how it goes. Missed the first note. I'll have to get it when we go around. So Roland, please, this is something that needs to be addressed in a future firmware update. There have already been, I think two firmware updates for this. That's the kind of thing that can be fixed in firmware as well. Yeah, it was difficult to get the first beat there when you don't have a count. So let's see what we've got. Okay, we didn't manage to nail it. It was off that first one. So we've got to erase what we've done here. This brings me on to another one of the annoyances and frustrations I have with this one. Now, we all mess up from time to time. I do it a lot. We've screwed up the recording of this particular clip and we want to undo our last take. Now, every sequencer, and Roland are not the only one to omit this, every sequencer should have a quick undo, delete last take, that kind of thing. It's not on here. What we have to do is make sure we're on the front page. You have to select the clip in question. We have to scroll down here to the bottom, delete. We have to press that button and then we have to confirm that it's going to be deleted. Now we can do another take. And this is gets very old if you make lots of mistakes like me. There should be some quick erase button here for your last take. That would be essential. Also something that could be fixed in firmware, I would think. Right, let's try again. I'm going to let this one loop through 4 measures before I start recording so I can get the first beat there. So here we go. 2. I've forgotten what riff I'm going to play now. Here we go. Okay, we got it that time. It sounded like a different sound, but who knows? Okay, maybe we can use that, maybe not. Now, I'm going to change to a different track. We'll go to this one, which I think had a nice pad. So I'm going to press select there to choose that track. I also need to do it on the MIDI keyboard as well. So I'll press function here. This is track 3. So we've got a nice pad there. Let's see if we can get something to go with that riff. Yeah, that could work. How many measures was that? Again, it would be nice if you could just, on the fly, hit the record button to stop recording your loop. Okay, let's see if we can get something going on here. And I think I'm going to need to have 8 measures for this one, which is the maximum you can have, just so you know. And shall we try and nail it on the first take without having it loop through the 8 measures, because that just gets very, very tedious. Let's have a go. No, I'm not going to pull it off. Let's let it go through 8 bars. I'll edit this because you probably don't want to listen to this pattern for 8 measures. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Let's move on. We'll choose another track. I have, on some of these, the ones in purple, I do believe, I've got some of the XV 5080 patches, one of the legendary Roland Studio sound modules. So let's change to track 7. I'll do the same thing over here. Let's take a listen to some of the sounds on this bank. So we need to go to bank E, which is where they're located. We start with this one. Yeah, the very famous 128 piano. I did a demonstration of the JV 1080 and I think this sound was on there as well. So you get all of the sounds of the JV 1080, just an iconic piece of gear, the 2080 and everything all the way up to the 5080. There's about 700 5080 patches. So this thing actually makes a very, very nice sound module with all of the sounds that Roland have ever made. It's absolutely fabulous in that respect. I want to get to some more interesting sounds. Let's see if we can find some leads or something. Shall we record something with that? That was quite nice. I'll stick with 8 measures here. Select a clip to record to. The clips I've already recorded are flashing right now, which means they're all ready to play. And I can record more clips as well. On each track I can have, I think it's up to 8 clips, which you can switch between them. So you could have, for example, an A section and a B section of your song, a bridge, chorus, that kind of thing, or different builds, transitions. Let's record something onto here. I'm just going to audition, see what we can do. Oh no, you see what it did? I lost the sound again. I forgot to press enter to commit it to the track, so we'll need to find that sound all over again. Sorry about that. Old dogs never learn new tricks. Steel drums. So I'm sharing with you my first impressions, my initial experience of using this particular GROOVEBOX. What I'm going through is something you're quite likely to go through too, unless you're smart enough to learn from my mistakes and goof-ups. So we're into the guitar categories now. I've skipped over the bell pads. That's your typical Roland mysterious bell pad rhythmic sounds, digital native dance, that kind of thing. Really nice. I was after a more... Okay, we're in the choir section. Let's get out of there. Some lovely strings. Oh, that's nice. I'm actually going to record something with that. I'm not sure if it will work together with what we've just recorded, but we can actually build a separate song on these 4 tracks, I guess. Let's put the record on, quantize on as well. Oh no, I lost the sound! God, I'm rubbish at this. Okay, that plinky bell pad thing wasn't really working, was it? Let's move on, see what else we can come up with. Okay, I had to take a break there actually. This song was going nowhere. It was so boring, even the camera got fed up of filming it and shut down. So I did a little bit more work off camera. I actually scrapped the whole thing, started over again, which went somewhat better the second time around. Remember, I'm new to this. It's the first time I've used it, so I've got had a few issues along the way as I'm learning how to use this one properly. Yes, I get caught out all the time by forgetting to press the enter button after auditioning the sound, but I think we've got something a little bit better going on here right now. So my first impressions, if we can sum those up then, about this particular unit. I love the sounds, absolutely fabulous. There's so many of them, there are literally thousands. So it does take a little while of scrolling through them to find the ones you want. You can edit the sounds if you want to, but I haven't touched on that today, and I probably never will. The drum sounds are fantastic, the synth sounds are fantastic. The sequencer has got a few quirks and cool features as well, but a few little annoyances that I need to find workarounds so I don't get too frustrated, but I have been improving a little bit as I've been playing this. The thing that bugs me the most is the lack of counting. So if you're recording an 8-bar phrase, you actually have to let it play through 8 bars. And then when it loops back to the beginning, that's when you can actually do your performance. Also the inability to remove mistakes you've made quickly is a bit of a pain as well. But anyway, I'm going to play you the track that I just spent maybe 40 minutes off camera making. It's just an 8-bar loop, so it's going to get on your nerves after a little while. So I'll just play a minute for you now.